A very good evening to you. I have just made it by the skin of my teeth. I think there is a expression like that. You just made it by the skin. You got by the skin of the teeth. So I have to tell you all about our adventures of the weekend. So Leanne, you know Leanne from the office. It was her hand night this weekend, and we had a fabulous time then in London, but only got in about 15 minutes ago, so it was quick coming in, tidy myself up very quickly, and come and be live. So how's everybody doing this weekend? I have to admit I'm a little bit tired. Let me just quickly do the links as well. It's just like, well, we had to, the minibus had to stop a couple of times on the way back, and I was like, no, please keep on going. Let's keep on going. I need to get back. I got a live to do, and but we just managed to get it back just on just in time. So let me know in the chat how you're doing. What's going on this weekend or this week? What you've been up to? What have you been making? Anything perhaps you want to share? Please send a picture in a message to me, and then I will bring it in and show it to everybody. To what you've been making. I love, like, we have similar materials and then we come up with all sorts of different ideas, I guess. Right, okay, so I am very quickly going to put a post on Facebook that we are live. Let me just move this around and then we're going to get started. Right, until we get started, what I want you to let me know in the chat, that what do you want me to do with these beautiful beads. So this week we have got 3mm and 6mm hematite beads, and we also have, how can I put it so I can show you more colors. 3 and 6mm hematite beads, beautiful. I just love them. I love all the colors. And we got size 15 seed beads. I have got something in mind what I really would like to do, but I want you to let me know. We also had a little clasp in there. Oh, that one was going with this color, I think. Yes, we have a little clasp in there, a couple of little toggle clasps in each one of the little bundles we had on Untitled Beads. So I have already got an idea, but I want you to let me know that what would you like to do with these beautiful beads. I want you to tell me what techniques would you like to do, or would you like me to do, or we can do it together, just like, but anything, or perhaps a certain pattern, really, like, it's up to you. So we can design something great together. Right, okay, so looks like, there we go. Very quickly gonna drop this in the group as well. And then we can get started. We had a fantastic weekend. It was really, really good fun. Really good fun. Went to see a show. We had loads of cocktails. We stayed in the Hard Rock Hotel. It was beautiful. We had dinner there. Just live. Just... there we go. Just 2 clicks away. And then I'm going to come and say hello to all of you. And then we can get started. There we go. And then I want to go back here. And then go and get Romance and Design and put it in there as well. Oh, it's Sharon's birthday. I just seen the message there. Happy birthday, Sharon. I hope you had a fantastic day. Let me just pop it on my page as well. It doesn't No, that's not what I want to do. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna leave it. Lucy, if you are on, would you pop it into the groups? Because I can't seem to. I think Facebook changed things again, and I can't. Yeah, there we go. Maybe we're good. Can't see where to pop the post sometimes. By the time I get used to one place, and then they move everything together. Right, I think we are good. Okay, cool. So let's go back. Good evening, Isla, Lucy. Who's saying just do a quick one tonight? Well, I have to say, Lucy, I only slept like 2.5 hours. It was rather late by the time we got to bed, and then I couldn't sleep. Good evening, Judith. Handicrafts, Sharon, good evening. Oh, very, very happy birthday to you. I hope you had a good day. Good evening, Celia, Victoria. Oh, kids have chicken pox and have made headbands. Oh, bless. Oh, I see. When my both of my Lucy had chicken pox when she was about 4 years old, and little Christopher, she was only like 6 months old. Caught it from her, like they were like covered with it. I know how hard it is for them when they being itchy. Ilan is saying she's been tackling the herringbone chain again. Lucy's saying happy birthday, Sharon. Oh, Diana's saying I'm going to have to watch you and crafts at the same time. I don't blame you. I love doggies as well. Lucy's saying she's done the headbands and I'm doing satin beaded beads tonight. Lindsay's saying happy birthday, Sharon. Happy birthday, Sharon. Cherry's saying Mina made headbands. Barbara is here. Hello from Florida. I have a question. I am making a necklace with RAW, which is RAW stands for right angle weave. What I need to know, how do you make a V shape in the center to line it up? Hope it makes sense. So in right angle weave, you're going to be creating 4 beads. This one is not, it's any of the strands. This one's got a bit more. So you're going to be creating well, 4 or more beads together, and you're gonna then add the other 4 on the top of this one and another 4 on the top of the one after that. And what you need to do is that you're gonna go up from this bead and then you're gonna go up from this bead. So you're not gonna do it from here having a straight one, but you're just gonna do it on an angle, and that's how you turn it into a V shape. When is she getting married? 3 weeks. Leanne is getting married in 3 weeks. I'm super excited for the wedding as well. Evening, Julie. Evening, Mina. Happy birthday, saying happy birthday, Sharon. Victoria is saying happy birthday, Sharon. Hi, Kelly. Kelly's here. Evening, everyone. Hope everyone like Caroline is here. Right. Okay. So shall we get started? What are we going to do? We got 3mm and 6mm hematite beads, and we also have got size 15 seed beads. I did have a little play, and I know what I really would like to do, and I'm going to show you that one. I would like to do like a flat spiral pattern with it, but and I did have a little play with size 11s when I put the bundles together, but it didn't look as well as the size 15. But I think we can do some other patterns and bits of pieces with it as well. Right, I am missing the seed beads. I'm kind of like mixed up. I don't know which one was which one now. So this one, oh, the seed bead is there for that one. So I got much more colors than that, but I am gonna go with, let's do this beautiful green gold and this rose color, or doesn't really matter. I guess we could do any color. Oh, it's going to be hard to choose. They are so nice. Maybe this one will show up quite well. So we could do with this color or with the purple. The purple will show up quite nice as well. Let's go with the purple. I'm going to make a decision. Going with the purple. Just moving the other ones. And then we do another color when we come and play about with another color. So grabbing thread. I'm going to grab purple thread to go with. Like a quite a darkish color. Size 11 needle, and we're gonna get started. Kelly thinks she likes the pinkish one. Yeah, I love this pink as well. They're so nice. That pink rainbow. I also call this mermaid rainbow or autumn rainbow. Just so beautiful. I love these rainbow colors. And this one is purple rainbow, but when in the factory they usually call it green gold because it's green. No, purple green. No, not the green gold. The other one is the green gold. This one is purple green. Right. Okay. So grab a pair of scissors. Lucy popped the link in, and that's the material we'll be using tonight. So I love flat spiral stitch, and I have done, I think we have done, if you've been following for quite some time on Total Beads, quite a few different versions of it. We had one with miracle beads, we had one with crystals and pearls. We must have definitely have one with miracle beads. We had like a whole different style of them, but they were larger beads, so they were 8mm beads in the middle, and here we're going to be using 6mm, so it's going to be slightly smaller, a little bit more delicate design, I guess. Evening Rachel, good evening, lovely. She's saying those colors are lovely. I love them too. Right, because we're doing spiral staircase, we're not going to have to go through the beads again and again. We're kind of just spiraling around the middle bit. So it's going to be, we always start with 2 beads, and we're always going to go through 2 larger beads. So I'm going to pick up 2 6mm beads. I'm going to take this down, and what we need to work out, that we're going to pick up a 3mm, which is going to go pretty much in the middle, and then we're going to have to pick up seed beads to go on either side. I think I'm going to do 5 size 15 seed beads, and then the 3mm, and another 5 size 15. We might could have gone away with 6, but I'm going to try it with 5. So then if I measure my needle right next to it, you just want it a little bit longer than the 2 beads themselves. So I'm going to take these down as well. And then I'm going to come through from the tail end, both of those beads one more time, and pull this up. And I think that's kind of like hugging it really nicely. Are we zoomed in all the way? Let's just go in a little bit more. See this thing? I have the purple kit. Brilliant. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up another 5 size 15 seed beads. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pick up a 3mm. And by the way, the 3mm and the 6mm is the same color. So although the sizes are different, the color is the same. So it's going to give us an overall sort of same color look. But however, if you have got 2 kits, you can mix and match the colors together. And I'm going to come through. So this is my tail end up here. I'm going to come through both of those 6 mils one more time. So I have got another spiral, another loop on the other side. And when we have got 2 loops hugging our 2 beads, then we need to kind of like step along. So I'm gonna, before I add my seed beads and 3mm, I'm gonna add a 6mm in there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up 5 size 15, 1 3mm, another 5 size 15, and I'm going to take my needle through 2 beads. Now I'm not going to, is that 6? I think I picked up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to need to take my needle through 2 beads again. So I'm not going to take my needle through the first bead, but this time I'm going to take my needle through the second and the third, the one we just added. And you want to make sure when you're adding these loops, the one loop is to one side, and we're going to add another loop. We're always going to add 2 loops before we add a new 6mm. The other loop is to the other side, and that's kind of like as you go along, that's what's going to hold your pattern down, and it's going to make, this is, the flat spiral is just so easy to do. So 5 size 15, 3mm size 15, and again I'm going to go through the same 2, second and the third, pull this up, but this time I'm going to keep the loop on this side. So I've got loops on both sides, so I'm ready to step along. So I'm going to pick up another 6mm and repeat the process. So it's always 5 size 15s, 1 3mm, 5 size 15s. There we go. And then I'm going to come through the new one I added and the one before. So always the last 2 size, this last 2 6mm hematite beads. Where is the hole? There we go. And that one as well. And then I'm going to take this loop to the other side and I'm going to add another loop so you can see how the pattern forms. It's such a beautiful pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has anybody got any question? Please put a Q in front of your question so I can quite easily identify it. That is for me. 5, 3 mil, 5. Going through the last 2 again. And then picking up another 6 mil. I'm going to take it down and just repeat it over and over again. Oh, Mina is doing ironing. Robin is here. Good evening, lovely. She said, I almost miss you all. We had to spring head last night, so we are an hour off. Oh, yes, your clocks are changed, haven't they? And our clocks, oh, ladies, I don't know. Is it in a couple of weeks our clocks change? Somebody, can you look it up and let me know? Because, you know, I never know what day it is, what time it is, or when our clocks. But I know your clock is different from our clock. So again, I'm going to go through the last 2. Is it in a couple of weeks? Lucy, Miri, can you Google it for me? So we know when the clocks go back in England. Are we going back or are we going? We think we're going back. So like 7 o'clock. Now it's only going to be 6 o'clock, isn't it? That's right. And picking up another 5. So I'm always picking up the same amount of seed beads and smaller beads for this one as I go along. I'm going to add a few more. I think this is rather pretty. What do we think? And you can do this in any color, and it's going to give us such a lovely little pattern. Very pretty pattern. Mina's saying ironing and a bottle of cider so it's done quicker. Oh, bless you. We had so many lovely cocktails this weekend for Leanne's handy, so I don't think I could drink any cider or anything for a very long time. But we had a really nice time. It was really nice. And I think she really enjoyed herself as well. 27th of March, they go 1 hour forward. So that means 7 o'clock, it will be 8 o'clock already. So it would be, if 27th of March, so 2 weeks from now, it will be 8:21. Is that right? So we're going forward. Cherry saying Mother's Day of all things. Spring forward. Isn't there like a little poem about it, like spring forward and something back? I never know. I always have to, like, it's so funny. And I think it's better now because like all our phones and everything else automatically changes. But like a few years ago, it didn't used to. And then like I was so paranoid, I'm going to be late or the kid's going to be late at school or like, you know, something is going to happen here or there or like, you know, on the next day and then like constantly going and changing clocks and then double changing it. And then my like phone would change, but my laptop didn't change or my laptop changed and something else didn't change. But I always go by the clock in the car most of the time. Oh, I forgot to pick up a 6 mil. Or we got like a manual clock in the kitchen above the stove as well. And that's like you have to like physically take it down and wind it back or wind it forward. So that's usually what I rely on to tell the time. Because and I would go in and Google it. As you would, to find out what time is it right now. Or ask our A. I'm not going to say her name because probably is going to answer me the our little device. Lucy's saying, can't wait for the spring weather. We are nearly there. Well, Lucy, I can't wait for the summer weather. Never mind the spring weather. I just want it nice and hot to be able to wear like shorts and t-shirts, and I want to be able to go down and bead on the beach. Just to sit there, watch the world go by with my little tray on my lap, and nice and warm, and just bead, bead, bead on the beach. Also, I have to be careful, like the projects you take down to the beach, it cannot be something we're using loads of different beads on, because once they roll away in the sand, and they rolled away in the sand, and especially if you're using seed beads, you're never going to find them. So you have to be very careful what project you take down. Something like this you could definitely take down, because otherwise like you're working with size 15s, but you're only working with one seed bead and one a couple of different, one 3 mil and one 6 mil, so a couple of different sizes of larger beads. So like this, something like this would be perfect. No, we go an hour forward. My oven clock will be correct for the next 6 months. Spring forward, fall back. Oh, bless you. You know, like so I sometimes do that in the car as well. But not so much in this one, because the car we got now, I do know how to change the clock. But the one we had before, I didn't know I had to change the clock, and we had exactly the same thing. We had for 6 months the time was right, and the next 6 months we had to add an hour on the top of it. So I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to add a few more stitches just so we can see, and then perhaps we could work out how to add the clasp to this. Such a pretty little pattern. I really do love it. Minnie says she's got an Easter fair next month, but not made anything yet. Oh, Mina, you better start making. Then it's going to come around really quick. She said, I better make bracelets this week as my charms have arrived. Oh, bless you. Oh, Kelly, it doesn't count. Kelly's saying, we had a lovely wintry summer's day today. It's wonderful. So anybody who you don't know, Kelly is from South Africa. She does card crafts. Do follow her channel, because she does a lot of stuff on cricket and loads of other sort of like paper crafty crafts. And I'm so jealous, because for her it's summer right now. So for her it's like she's really hot. Maybe we should flip-flop. We should go down there for 6 months and then come up here for 6 months. So we always had the good weather. And Victor is saying, question, is the kit including crystals or two sizes of hematite beads? So the little bundle we have on the website, a little bundle of beads, includes the 3mm hematite, 6 string of 3 string of 6mm hematite, and a bag of size 15 feet beads. And it will be, if you're going to do this pattern what I'm doing right now, you will have enough to make, I need more 3mm, you will have enough to make 2 bracelets out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seed beads. So I've done probably about just over a couple of inches. I'm gonna keep going just a little longer, and then we're gonna work out how to add the clasp. That pattern reminds me of caterpillar. Oh yeah, it does actually a little bit, but I just love it. So previously we have done flat spiral. I love it. I love this stitch, and we done it. You can do with pearls and crystals on the side. And we did it with miracle beads. You can do with all sorts of different, beads, some smaller ones, some larger ones. But the rule of thumb here with flat spiral, that your middle bead, which is the ones in the middle, that's always a little bit bigger, or usually for me, like visually, what works the best, if this bead here is twice the size of the bead what you're adding to the side, because it's kind of just like works out pretty then. There we go. You go on there as well. I'm gonna go through you as well. I'm pulling this up, And then I'm going to take this loop to this side, and the whole key to is that you're going to add 2 loops, and then you're going to add the larger bead. Then you're going to add 2 loops and a larger bead, 2 loops and larger beads, and you're always adding the loops to sewing into the last 2 beads, and you're going to always not force, but sort of turn one loop to one side, and the other loop is going to stay on the other side. When I pull this up, there we go, and we're just going to keep on going. So in these ones, the hematites are going to be the same color, and perhaps we'll go and have a go up with just a single color like the gold, when there is no sort of rainbow or multicolor finish on it. And you will see, I really do love it. Like, the hematite beads are look so nice, and they're so nice to work with. They always got somewhat like a coolness to them. Hematite is a mined mineral, and it has got a very large content of iron, so it can be polarized with magnets. That's why we do have magnetic hematite beads as well. They can magnetize them. It's such a lovely, and they played them to so many different colors. I'm not sure how many colors you have on the website, but there is many different colors they do now. So underneath that plating, the electroplating, you have got the gray hematite bead. I'm wondering if you can see. I haven't got a gray one. So hematite usually is just, you can't see because the plating is quite good on these. They go right down. The plating is really good on these, so they go right down by the hole as well. Come on, focus on us. So you can't really see the gray color of the bead. But I love hematite beads, and those comes in so many shapes and sizes. 1, 2, 3, 5. So I'm always picking up 5 seed beads, a 3mm hematite, 5 seed beads. To make my loop, I'm going to the last 2 6mm on my pattern, and my thread is just twisted. There we go. I need a few more seed beads. So just take a sip of my. Then I think I made this with rainbow bead, miracle bead in rainbow colors. It's a lovely kit. Yeah, absolutely. We had I think it's still on the website actually, the rainbow one with the larger beads. And with that one, like, you didn't have to do all the colors together. You could have chosen, because it made so many bracelets. I think it's made 7 bracelets, didn't it? Or something like that. You get to like sort of choose the colors, how you want to swap them or add them together, or the patterns you're gonna make. And it had 7 different colors of seed beads with it. It was a big bundle, but I think it might be still available. Love the weight and feel of the hematite. I'm so tongue-tied tonight. I can't talk straight. What's going on? I love it too. I really do love the hematite is yeah, it's a bit more weighty than normal. What's going on with my thread as well? Maybe we need to untwist this quickly. Kelly's saying, that is so stunning. Can I have dibs? Absolutely. One of these days, I'm going to have to send you a big pack of beads. Kelly down to South Africa. I think I got a little knot right on here. So let's get rid of that knot. I just need to grab another needle. Because sometimes the knot, there we go. So when I want to get rid of a knot, I'm just going to stab it with one needle. And then I'm going to pick it with the other needle. So I stabbed it right into the middle. Because otherwise, if you're just pulling against, if you're just pulling on one strand, what you're doing is, in fact, tightening up the knot and not loosening it. So the two, and can you see like how easily I just pulled on it and it came apart? So doing it with 2 needles, it's the best way and the quickest way to get any knot apart. And then just kind of like follow, oh, don't knock back in. Follow the yellow brick road to the end. And there we go, we are knot free. Robin is saying that's gorgeous, thank you very much. I love a flat spiral, I really do. So while I'm adding a few more beads, come on ladies, let's brainstorm. What else can we do with 3mm beads, 6mm beads, and size 15s? What other pattern can we do which will work out nicely to have a nice bracelet or necklace? We could do anything really. Do let me know in the chat. What would you like me to do, or what shall we explore? We could do, I'm thinking, we could definitely do right angle weave. We could do like a hugs and kisses. We could do a bit of netting. We could do with right angle weave, there is so many different like ways you could add the beads on top and make all sorts of different patterns. We could do sort of like a stringing, there's so many different things. So you let me know in the chat, what shall we do? I'm just going to add a few more until my thread runs down a little bit, because the beauty of this stitch, so we started right down here, but, and I usually do this, so I bead all the way across until I only have maybe a feet or a little bit less than a feet thread. And then I add the clasp on that end. And because the way how the pattern is started, I then will be able to take more thread off my bobbin and continue my bead work the other way. So I could quite easily, this is my working thread, if I turn this around, that's exactly the same as our tail end, is exactly the same as our working end. So I would just pick up a size 6 and do the loops going the other way. So you can have a whole bracelet just with one piece of thread with this one. So what other techniques are we going to explore? Do let me know in the chat so I can have we can have a little think together. Right, so I'm just picking up 5 seed beads, 1 3mm and another 5 seed beads. And coming through the last 2 6mm. And making sure I got a loop on this side, so I'm making sure I'm going to keep this loop to this side here. So what else are we going to do? With our beads. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we need the suggestion. I think we should make a nice simple necklace to go with it, Lucy is saying. So what sort of necklace would you like? You can do this in a necklace setting as well. If I did this as a necklace, what I would need, well, I wouldn't need, but maybe we could make larger loops. But if I did this as a necklace, I would perhaps use 4mm beads on one side and 3mm beads on the other side, because if you do that, then you would have the natural curve with the necklace, because the beads at the bottom would be slightly larger. I'm always picking up 5 seed beads, 1 3mm 5 seed beads. anklet would be nice. Yeah. Lucy's saying, I don't know where Lorna is. She's always good with suggestions. Absolutely. I love Lorna. She actually sent me a little picture the other day. She had a little thing. I'm working on something sort of like a little bracelet for myself, which for me, the original idea came from Mina, actually Mina, who is here, because she was making these wish bracelets and she sent me a picture. And I got these message rings. And I want to do like an interchangeable bracelet with them. And I was talking about it the other week, and Mina sent me a beautiful picture. She's been thinking through and giving me ideas. Bless her. She's so good. What about row pattern of some sort? Yep, we're gonna continue with that in a minute. So I'm gonna add maybe 2 more, and then we're gonna add the clasp, and we're gonna go ahead and do something with right angle weave them of some sort, of course, or something. I wonder, we're gonna have to do something where we don't go through the size 15s too much, so you don't have to go and travel backwards and forwards in them, but rather traveling the larger beads, the 3mm and the 6mm themselves, or we just make a 6mm base up and then come back and decorate it with the smaller beads. I think that would be cool too. Or we could add the smaller and larger beads together. That would look good as well. Ooh, instead of doing 4, could we do 3? In a way. 1, 2, 3, 4. With right angle weave. Because usually we add 4 beads together. But I wonder. Oh, and I got another idea as well. It's like when you start to think about it, all these ideas came to mind. Right. I have to, sometimes if you pull it too tight, it's sometimes hard to put the needle in the bead. So I kind of just like push my nail down on it and wiggle it a little bit, and then just gives us maybe like 1/2 millimeter gap, so we can go on with our needle, and then we can close our loop up and go through the bead and close the loop up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming through again. Lucy's saying, I saw a really cool ring the other day for your thumb, and it had beads on it, and it was called a worry ring, and you could twiddle the beads. I'm going to ask Natalie to make one. Ooh, send me a picture. Keep with Miracle Beads in Styles is sold out. I have I don't know, like, because I'm not in the warehouse that much anymore, so I don't really know what stock they have. Right, so adding a couple more loops and then we're moving on. I'm going to move on to right angle weave. I do like, you know, like when I first ever started beading, I do remember, I think it was peyote stitch, either peyote stitch or square stitch, the first stitch I ever learned. And then the second or third was right angle weave. And I remember, I remember so clearly in my mind that I was thinking, I don't like this stitch. This is just like, I can't get my head around it. Like, you know, this right angle weave is just like, nah, I don't like this one. I like peyote stitch and square stitch. They're good stitches. You can just keep on going with those ones. And with right angle weaves, we got all these angles to think about and all these angles to do. And I remember that after learning right angle weave, I didn't actually touch it for, I don't know, maybe a year or 2. I haven't done anything in right angle weave. And the funny thing is, like now, most of the patterns I do rely on right angle weave because it's the most versatile stitch really to do anything with. You can just achieve so much, and just by switching the size of the beads or the color of the beads or the shape of the beads up, you get so many nice looks with it. Right angle weave and netted necklace. Yeah, we could do a little bit of that one as well. Right, okay, so I'm going to pick up another loop here, and then I'm gonna grab the clasp, and then we're gonna have to think about how we're gonna add the clasp on the end, because if I just add the clasp us coming out of the end right there, just like that, and I come back in the middle, then what will happen, the loops are just going to flip up like that. And I don't like the end loops to flip up like that because I want to keep them down. And also we are missing one of these from kind of like here, and the seed beads which would be going, if we had another one here, from here. So what I am going to do is we're going to add some loops on there. Right, let me just grab some clasp. I'm not sure. No, I think it was the darker ones, wasn't it, with these ones? As I've taken them out of the pot. I don't know which pot I've taken, which one out. Mr. Singh's love row and crow. So row is right angle weave and crow is cubic right angle weave. Right, so I just need one set. So as I'm coming out of, we're going to have to make a little extension on the other side because we need to be able to pull the toggle through. But I'm going to put this one on first. So as I'm coming out of this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up a 3mm here, because if I picked up a size 15, we would not be able to go backwards and forwards in the size 15 so much, because be using size D thread, and the most amount you can go through is probably maybe 3 times. And I'm going to go through a loop on the clasp, one of the sides, and I'm going to come back through that 3mm, and I'm going to come back through this 6mm as well. And from here I'm going to pick up let's see, I'm going to pick up 5 size 15. Let's keep to the 5. I'm going to pick up 1 3mm, and let's take it down and see where is this going to lead. Right there. So I need to really take it through. I need to hook this into the very last seed bead here, so it's forcing my beads to the side. So I think I might need to take it back. I need to take it back, or will this be all right? I'll just push that right down. Maybe it will be all right. Let's try it. So I'm just going to come through the last seed beads towards that 3mm and pull this up, and let's see what happens. I'm going to pop this down. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be all right. Maybe one less. No, I think it's sticking out. I think it's in. No, I think it's going to be good. Right, and then I'm going to go into the 3mm, into the loop. Oh, make sure you don't get your thread caught up on your loop. Pull it back a little bit. Come on, thread. And let me grab it with my round nose pliers. And there we go. And pull it back, because I actually went over and looped. There we go. Just take it out. I got it caught on the clasp. So pulling it through. And then I'm going to go back through the 3mm and back through the 6mm. I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads, and I'm going to pick up a 3mm, and we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. And then finally we're going to have to cross over to force this to stay really open. Right, so what, 5 15s and the 3mm, and then I'm going to come around and go into the last seed bead here, just like that. Pull this up. So if I put it down, you can see they are still kind of like closing down a bit. So we're going to sort those out just in a sec. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go through that 3 mil again, through the clasp. So this is the third time we're sewing the clasp to the bracelet, which is going to make it super strong. That connection is going to be great. And then coming back through the 3 mil. And once again, I'm going to come back through the 6 mil. I'm going to go down through one of the loops. Now it doesn't matter which loop you're going to go through. So I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to go through this 3 millimeter here. And then I'm going to go through that 15 underneath it as well. I'm going to pick up a couple of 15s. And I'm going to cross maybe 3. Let me just see. Let me just take it down. I'm going to pick up a couple of 15s. No, I think a couple will be all right. And then take my needle across to the other side. Come through that 15. Pull this out nice and tight. And hopefully this will force and then come up through that 3. Come up through those 15s. And hopefully this will force it down. Necklace with the Creation Station beads. And I think Luna just sent me a picture that will force it down to, so it's not going to be able to loop up that much once we pull this tight. I probably would go down, and other thing what we can do, because we got the back of the necklace there as well. So if it's still flipping up a little bit, then the other thing you could do is, I'm going to go down through the 3 mil and sew the clasp on one more time. So this is the 4th time we are sewing the clasp on. Come back through the 3 mil and the 6 mil. And this time I'm going to go into the loop again. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I almost started to sing the song, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 second official live. Through the 3 mil, I'm going to pick up 4 size 15s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to come up through the 3 mil on the other side. And this time, I don't want the beads on the top of my bracelet, but they're going to go onto the bottom. So when I pull this up nice and tight, this is the other way how we can force. Might need 5 seed bead here, actually. Looking at this, we need 5 seed beads because there's a little gap there. So I'm just going to take it back to the 3 mil, pick up an extra one. So not 4, we need 5. And then come down. So now we have got a little row of beads at the end on this side. And the little row of beads on that side, and it definitely opens up your last loop and keeps it down, so it's exactly the same all the way up. And from here I would go up through the loop and then either going down or up depending of how much room have you got in your 3 mil. I would either go back through the clasp. Let me just pop my needle through. How easy is to push it through. No, I think we are all filled up with thread now. So I'm going to turn my direction the other way, and I'm just going to come through a couple of 6 mils here, just like that. And I'm going to do a 1 thread knot. So I'm going to catch the thread in between. Let me just pull this up so you can see it. In the middle, in between 2 beads, just like that. Sorry. I'm just catching the thread. I'm not catching any beads. I'm going to pull this up. And as I'm pulling this up, you can see this little loop forms on your thread. Then take your needle through that loop And when you pull this up, it's going to form a little knot right there on the top of your thread. And I'm going to do another one. And coming through and pulling, oh, didn't pull it through enough. So before I pull this super tight, I want to make sure I'm pulling this through. Oh, I think I got myself into a knot. I think because my thread was slightly twisted. There we go. Other knot, and then taking it through the next couple of beads. I usually add like 3 knots, 2-3 knots on here, and then just trim this thread. We don't need this thread anymore, and we're going to take more thread off the bobbin from the other side and continue our bead work the other way. And then when you add your other end, so when you're adding your T-bar on there, you're going to have to add not just 1 3mm, but maybe, I would say 3 of them, if not 4. So you have got like a little length, because you need to be able to pull this bar, maybe 3 is enough, this little T-bar through that loop, and then it will go back and secure onto, that's how it closes up. So that's that. I'm really happy with this. I think this looks, the pattern on this looks fantastic. Right, so shall we have a little go at a right angle weave pattern? I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use these gold ones with these beads. Let's use a different color. So I'm really happy with this flat spiral. So I'm gonna pop that to the side, pop the 15s away, and then get the gold ones out. And I'm gonna look at Lorna's message as well, because I really want to see what she sent to me. She's such a little clever cookie. Right, just pushing these up, making space for the gold ones. I'm going to continue doing something like with it. This is in gorgeous. There we go, Lorna. Oh, she's done a proper drawing for us. Let me just export it, and then I can bring it in and show it to everybody. I'm going to downloads, grabbing this out, and then bringing it in. So this is for netting. So we could have a long strand of the 6mm and then net the 3mm underneath it. So there we wouldn't go back to the size 15s, but we would be going through the 3mm themselves. I think that could work. That could definitely work. But let's have a go at right angle weave first. And we might even have time to do another one, but I think I'm gonna have to tonight. I'm gonna have to finish a little earlier. I only had like 2.5, 3 hours sleep last night, so I'm not feeling too fresh today. But never mind. We enjoyed ourselves, and Leanne really enjoyed herself, and that's what counts. So anybody who just joined us, I've been on a hen do all weekend. We had the time of our life, all of us. A really, really beautiful beautiful weekend. So I'm just grabbing some brown thread for this, and I'm gonna grab a needle and thread it. And there we go. And we're gonna have a go at right angle weave. Lorna is saying, love the flat spiral and small bead. Absolutely. I think it looks so nice with the 15s, because you don't have to go back through them anymore. So you only need to pick them up once. And even if they're smaller, you just kind of like poke your needle at it, and then they will go down. Right, so right angle weave unit is going to be 4 beads. I'm just going to pop this together before I even stitch it. And this is just on the strand itself, and bring these 4 together. So just by bringing them together, I can already see, even before I started stitching, I'm going to have big gaps of thread here. So I'm gonna add a 3mm in between those 4 mils. Or actually, what I was thinking to do is, let's just have a little play with this. So you don't just have to have 4 beads together like that, and then we would add the next 4 here. We could have 6 mil, 6 mil, 3 mil, and then 6 mil, 6 mil, 3 mil. That could work. Maybe a couple of 3 mils in there. Maybe we could have, we could have 3 mils, but here, like that. So 2, because it doesn't have to be a 4. It can be any numbers. It could be 5, and then from here we would add 2. This could work, and 3 of these. Again and again and again. So okay, let's try this one. So it's gonna be like a little bit like asymmetric. So I'm gonna pick up 2 6 mil and 3 3 mil, and let's see where we get to with these and take it down. Then I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna go through all of them a couple of times to have a good base and see how does this one look. Maybe we need more 3 mils because it's not going to. Oh no, we should have added a 3 mil in there, never mind. So I'm going to come through, just a little tester, all of them again. Because you're going to end up with 6 bead. So I'm going to come up, and I'm going to come out of the middle of the 3. And I'm going to pick up a 6 mil. I'm going to pick up 3 3 mils. 1, 2, 3, and another 6 mil, and then I'm going to come through that 3 mil again from the other side, and when I pull this up, this is going to add our next little pattern, and from here I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around and come out of the 3 mil again, just like that, and I'm going to repeat it. So 6 mil, 3 mil, 3 mil, 3 mil, 6 mil, and then I'm exiting at the bottom, so I'm going to come from the top and go through just that 3 mil again. I think this is going to give us a very little pretty pattern, and then take my thread to the 3 mil, just like that, and repeat it. What do we think of this? And then when we come back, or even we could do it in the same time to add some 15s in there in one way or another. We could, I wonder how we could loop it. Maybe we could add a loop going across the top, just like a little decoration. Maybe 6 would do. What do we think of that? She was saying, did they at the beginning, glad you enjoyed stuff. Yeah, we had absolute lovely time. She's getting married in 3 weeks. 3 weeks until 3 weeks countdown. So I think that would be great. So let's just have a look at this on this unit. So I'm gonna take my needle through the next 3 millimeter. I'm gonna pick up 6. 1 15s. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and I'm gonna go up on the 3 mil, and the other 3 mil on the other side. So when I pull this up, I just form like a little loop of seed beads there. What do we think of that? Let me just add another unit, and then we see how we go. So 1 6 mil, 3 3 mils, and another 6 mil, and I'm gonna come through that 3 mil again and pull this up through, and then we're gonna go into the 6 mil. Actually, we could do this on the 6 mil. Or do we want to add another 3 mil in the middle here? Because we could do that as well. We could pick up, ooh, that would be pretty. We could pick up 2 15s, 1, 2, pick up a 3 mil and another 2 15s, go down through the 6 mil, back down, make sure this is nice and tight, and then pulling this up. So you could add an extra 3 mil on there, then come around. That looks kind of pretty as well. Come around into the 6 mil, and then we're going to get to the 3 mil on the top and add 6 mil, 3 mil, 3 mil, 3 mil, 6 mil. Come around from the other side, pull this up. Let's do another one again. Do we like the 3 mil in there or not? Let me just pull this up so you can see it from closer. Do we like the 3 mil on top or just the 15? We need to add something more. I think that I like the 3 mil better. I think it looks better. We could add a 6 mil. We could add a 6 mil. And that would like, kind of like, maybe it would come up too much. Maybe if you had a 4 mil, we could add it there. All sorts of things we could do. I'm going to come through that 6 mil. I'm going to pick up 2 15s, a 3 mil, and another 2 15. And then come back through the 6 and that 3. Pull this up nice and tight. Going up through the 6, getting up to the 3, the middle of the 3, and repeat again. I quite like this, but I think it's missing some seed beads. I think we need something extra. I think we need to add something else in it. Wherever, if we come back and add 15s in afterwards, running down. So let me add one more unit, and then we can kind of like circle back and have a little play. 1, 2, 3, and another 6 mil, and then taking it up, coming through the 3 mil itself, and then coming through up the 6 mil. There we go. I'm going to pick up 2 15s, a 3 mil, 2 15s. I'm going to come down on the 6 mil on the other side and through that 3 mil, and then get to the top. What happened? It went to the other side. I want it on this side. Come on, beads, behave. Right, so I'm going to go to the top, and I think the other thing what we can do, I'm not going to add another unit. This definitely need to be tweaked, but I think if we come down, once if we make the whole pattern all the way to the top, once we come down, we could, I'm just going to go through the 6 mil. I'm going to pick up a couple of 15s. So this would be right at the end when you have all your units. And then just go into that 3 mil. So I'm creating a little thread path to secure the bracelet right there and stabilize it. And then pick up another 3. But maybe we could incorporate those two somewhat when we're going through the main bracelet as well. Maybe. Another 2. So I always kind of like work when I'm designing something. I just kind of like work like this, adding bits here, adding bits there, and then when I think I have a solid pattern, or I have a pattern what I like, a pretty pattern, then I go back and add, like, you know, restart it and try to find. I'm just gonna cross across and come back on the top. I think that could work, adding those twos in there, but I think they still need something on the top, something more. Right, there we go. I'm going to pick up another two and then go to the top on this side, adding a couple of 15s as I go, just to add a spot of color in there as well, I guess. Right, anybody have any idea or anything would like me to do? Let me know in the chat how we could improve. I think we could add, if we added 5 instead of 3, when we pick up the 3s, let me just get to the top, then we would have a larger loop to fill, and then we could definitely put a size 6 in there, a 6mm in there, no problem. Right, everybody, gonna leave that with you. Have a little think what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue this next week, next Sunday, because I'm really sorry I only had like 3 hours sleep, so I'm mixing my words up too much now, so I'm probably no good to anybody. We're gonna continue with these kits next Sunday, because we hardly used like sort of any of them. I'm gonna have a little think this week what we can do, how we can make this pattern even prettier, and we're gonna come up with something together, because I think adding the loops sort of kind of like asymmetric and not adding 6mm on the top, like as we're going around at the bottom, and maybe we have a go at the traditional hugs and kisses, and then we tweak it and do some other bits of pieces. And then you think that's nice. There's all sorts of different things we could do. I'm not quite happy with this loop at the top. I think we need to do something with it, or perhaps we don't even need that loop. We just need the units without it. Maybe we have a good old play next weekend as well. What about a crystal? We could add a crystal in there as well. All sorts of different things I can go and grab. Do check out on the website. Probably saying get some sleep, so see you next week. Do check out the website, and if you want to get one of the bundles I have added together, I'm just going to bring this in, quite a few different colors in there, and actually I'm going to show you this. I had a look when I said I had a little play. I had a little play with the two different colors, the two different sizes of seed beads. I know they're two different colors, but you will be able to see that the size 11 doesn't look as nice, and these are 4mm hematite as well, and this is 3mm with a size 15. Looks so much better. So when I was putting the kits together, I had a little go. So we got like a darker blue, we got a lighter blue, we got this beautiful coffee color. I love the purple plate. That's the rainbow we've been playing with. You got green, you got gold, all sorts of colors. Check out on the website, and then we can play and create together next week. Each one of the little bundles has got a 3mm in there, 6mm in there, and a couple of toggles. So we got a lot to play with. Enjoy the station, but you deserve a weekend off. You worked too hard. Oh, thank you, Isla. Have a good night's sleep. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm switched this off, and virtually like 5 minutes later, I think I'm gonna be in bed and asleep. Just gonna go and see the kids, because I got home like 10 minutes before I had to go live. I unfortunately had to stop the minibus a couple of times at the service stations. So I was like, come on, I need to get home. Right, everybody, have a beautiful weekend. Whatever is left of it, wherever you are. If you're in the States, then probably you got more, you got the rest of your afternoon and evening. And I'll be back next Sunday with you at 7 p.m. We're going to continue working these beautiful hematite beads. So if you haven't got a little bundle, get a bundle. And I'm definitely going to make, I'm trying to finish this one, because I think this flat spiral is so beautiful with them. really, really good. Really, I really like that the 3mm and the 6mm beads are the same color, because it just brings it together. It's kind of like gives it a simplicity, but at the same time you got the two different sizes going on. So I really, really enjoyed like visually. I think it looks better than how it's coming up on the camera. I just really do love it. So do have a look at that one. Right, everybody, have a beautiful week, and I will see you back here next Sunday night at 7 p.m. and we're going to continue working with the hematite, and I'm also going to work out what beads we're going to work the week after, and I got a couple of good ideas as well. Everybody have a beautiful week.